Hey folks, welcome back. My name is Krishna, and in this video, we're going to have some fun with vectors and integrating vectors into our raster art. So here's one example of something that I've created where part of the illustration is raster, like most of the guy's face, but then his headgear is created in vectors. I've also done something similar over here where I've got a vector headdress and I've got a raster-based illustration underneath, and I threw in some type in here. So I want to keep this as quick and as painless as possible, so that way you can actually go ahead and get started and practice this on your own. So we'll go ahead and start out by just making a blank canvas in Illustrator. We're going to use Illustrator for this. And I'll start off by just using a basic polygon tool. I'll give it a fill of a specific color, doesn't matter what color it is. I will add another shape, a rectangle. I'll make a copy of this by holding down the Option key. And then I'll just go ahead and align those vertically. And what I can do now is I'm going to use something called the Shape Builder tool. So I've created a very simple shape here. There is the Shape Builder tool. It's Shift M. And the way it works is when I've got a bunch of shapes selected, I can go ahead and hold down the Option key or Alt on Windows, and I can subtract those shapes. So in this way, I can easily take a complex looking shape and break it apart, which is exactly what I'm going to do. So I've got something that looks like this. Next, what I'll do is I'll just select the whole enchilada. I'll choose Offset Path in the Properties panel. And what this does is just basically doubles everything up. I'll give it a separate fill, just so you can see what I'm working with here. And it's fine if these shapes overlap for what I'm going to be using them for. Next, what I'll do is I'll just go ahead and select the whole thing. I'll hit Command G. It groups everything together as one. I'll go up to Effect, 3D and Materials. I'll choose Extrude and Bevel. By default, it puts it in a 3/4 front view. So under the presets, I'll choose front, and I'll rotate it in a positive X direction. So I've got something like this. And again, what's important here is not the specific numbers, but just the basic methodology. I've created a shape, used Shape Builder, and now I'm getting it some thickness. I can also add some perspective. And the thing about this vector line art is it looks very uniform. And that's because the brush or the stroke is basically set to uniform. But if I were to go ahead and select the whole thing, choose this width profile here, and then use 5-point oval, it's one of the existing brushes, we have something that looks a little bit more thick, but it also has a little bit of line weight variation. It's not exactly like a raster-based tool would provide, but it's pretty decent. So we'll take this whole thing, then we'll go up to Effect, Distort and Transform, and we'll choose Transform. And what we'll do here is we've got Scale, Move, and Rotate. You can play with these parameters. I'll just go ahead and set the move to say something like negative, 69. And I want to rotate this so that it looks like a 360-degree circle pattern. So I can take the math, 360 divided by 10 is 36. So why don't I make the angle 36? And why don't I make the number of copies 10? And so I've got something that looks like this. And you can play with things like scale. You can see that when I change the scale, I've got it uniformly set. It creates a different pattern. There's all sorts of variations here. The idea is just to experiment and see what you come up with. So I'm pretty happy with this. I'm going to go ahead and click OK. And now I've got a shape that I can then bring in as a smart object into Photoshop. So to do that, just select the whole thing. I'll hit Command C to copy it. Next, I'll move over to Photoshop. I'll make a new canvas in Photoshop. I'll hit Command V, and I've got this as a smart object. I'll hit return to confirm the change. I'll make the opacity about 30 or 40%. And I'm going to use the brush tool in conjunction with the vertical symmetry tool. And I'll position it somewhere in the center. And then I can start by constructing some kind of a head. So let me pick a different color here. And what I'll do is I'll kind of follow some of the lines that are in the existing shape. I can draw a set of eyes, create a nose, create a mouth. And add whatever details I want. Now, just to break things up, I'm not going to go completely ham on this, but just to go ahead and for the sake of conversation, if I want something to look a little bit less symmetric, I can turn off symmetry, use the lasso tool, and just play with having one of the eyes just a little bit bigger than the other. I can also play with the mouth shape, give it a little bit of asymmetry. Maybe I'll just clean up this bottom lip here. And I've got something that I can work with. So once we have this in place, once we have an enclosed shape, all I would need to do is fill in the shape with a white color. So I'll make a new layer. And I'll hit the inverse selection, fill it in with white, Option Delete. And I can bring back the smart object. And you can see that I can move this maybe further lower in position. Maybe I could even rotate it. Whatever I need to do to kind of make it fit. I think I'll just keep it as is and just maybe shift it over a little bit like so. So now I've got a pretty cool looking headdress for this character. I think something that I often try to do is I will take that shape, just get the rectangular marquee tool here. I'll chop this off. I'll get rid of some of the outlines here and come back in with that blue and have this mask kind of partially visible. I don't know. There's no right answers here, but these are just some things that I'm playing around with. So that's the tip, basically. You can use Illustrator with Photoshop. You can use that transform tool and the shape builder tool to create some pretty interesting things. Oh, one last thing here too is if I want these vectors to look less vectory, I can add some stippling marks, or I can draw some lines, just to kind of break up some of those forms. And it looks a little bit more organic. It doesn't look so plasticky, So you do have the ability to go ahead and kind of dirty up some of those vectors and make them look kind of cool. So here's just a few maybe rivets or something. And these are all hand drawn, and it gives that nice organic feel. And I'll just change this color to black. And if I wanted to go ahead and change the color of this, maybe I'll pick kind of a purplish color, and you can see what I'm left with. So let me know if you have any questions about this. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope you found some value in this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up so more folks can find it. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. See ya.